Is it true that Stephanie Graf's father, upon meeting, I don't know if it's the first time, but one of the very first times, upon meeting your father, who was also very, very demonstrative, shall we say,
Yeah.
challenged your father to a boxing match, and your father accepted, and they started ripping off their shirts to fight each other? True?
It was almost a fight. That part's true. Yes.
The first time they met?
Yes, the first time and the only time they met. No, okay, you want to talk about a surreal scene in life, okay? My stepfather, Steffi's dad, comes to, and he doesn't speak much English. It's broken at best, and but he's a very engaging man. He has subtleties and nuance. He has ways of, motivating his kids, and he's psychologically savvy. And my dad's completely opposite. He's raw and he's straightforward, and they both don't really speak English. I mean, my father speaks five languages, none of them well. Steffi's dad speaks 1.5 languages, the half being the English part. So, when he comes to Vegas, Peter Graf, he didn't want to go see Hoover Dam. He didn't want to go see the Red Rock Mountains. He didn't want to go see Lake Mead. He wanted to go see the Dragon, the ball machine, the fire-breathing ball machine that my dad constructed in his garage to teach me how to return 120-mile-an-hour serves long before anybody could hit a serve 120 miles an hour. So he comes to the house. Now, I'm taking him there. Steph's staying home because she wants nothing to do with it because she's a heck of a lot smarter than me, right? So we drive to the house, and we walk in, and Peter says, yeah. Everything my dad says, yeah. Ball machine. Show me the ball machine. So my dad's incredibly flattered. My dad walks out the back, down the scene, storms down, sets up the ball machine, sets up the Dragon, raises it, pushes it close to the net, starts firing balls, and starts explaining to Peter Graf how this ball machine can hit balls that I can't even return. Now, meanwhile, I'm still I might even be #1 in the world at the time, and which even makes my dad more proud that his ball machine can just beat my ass, right? So I go to so he sets up this ball machine, and he sends me to the other side of the court to demonstrate to Peter Graf, Steph's father, just how this ball machine is the answer to developing champions as a tennis player, and how it's still even better than me, even though I'm the best. And by the way, your daughter's retired, so my son's still doing. So he turns on this ball machine. My dad's talking. Now the ball machine makes so much noise. It's like the ball gets sucked up this narrow tubing. It gets stuck in the joints of this cylinder, and then it builds up so much pressure that it fires out and it recoils. It's like, and it like a bit like the kid in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, right? Augusta Gloop, right, where it just gets stuck and it just comes shooting out. So they set this thing up, and he starts firing this thing at me to show Peter how good this thing is. So I start trying to hit the ball, and I can't hit it. He's pushing it right to my feet, and then Peter says to me. He's talking to me quietly because Peter can't understand a damn word my dad's saying. So Peter says to me, "This is a shot you've never learned. This is the shot Steffi had. You have to learn." No kidding. I just don't know if anybody can see this. So Peter starts telling me, "You have to learn how to be quiet. The racket needs to be," and he starts doing this graceful movement that Steph always did. I recognized it, right? Oh, it looks beautiful. I could never do that, but it was, beautiful. So he says, "You have to learn the slice." The slice is, so now my dad looks up and he sees that Peter's doing two things wrong, okay? Number one, he's not listening to my father. He's not listening. Number two, he's messing with his star pupil, like he's coaching. This is a problem. So my dad goes over, my dad rips the racket out of my hand, pushes me aside like I'm, a little boy again, and starts telling Peter, if Steffi Graf had this shot, she would have won 32 Grand Slams, right? Not 22, she would have won 32. So they start debating what's the better shot. So my dad decides to make a boxing analogy, and he's explaining how, when you punch, both feet need to get set and you throw your hands, right? You like boxing, I like boxing too. And then Peter says, "I think I would have knocked you out." So my father responds with, "Knock me out. You might have me a little bit on height and reach, but I was quick. So my dad starts bobbing and weaving, right? Now, then Peter rips his shirt off to start showing how in shape he is, and he starts throwing these punches. So meanwhile, I have the racket now back in my hand, and these balls are flying, and I'm watching my dad and my father-in-law meet for the first time.
First time.
Shadow boxing each other with punches that are coming within millimeters. And the thing that Steffi's dad doesn't know, Peter Graff doesn't know about my father is, like, it's a real fine switch for him. It's not like this is going to be the term. It's like, if I don't, all of a sudden I determine I don't like you, it gets really serious really fast. So anyhow, we get through this ordeal, which was an out-of-body experience, and I get home, and Steffi just asked me in her really Steffi kind of way, so, how did things go? And I said, you know what, let me make this margarita. Let me finish all of it, and then I'll tell you. So that's my father.